So while we're waiting for people to join, this is it. This immune support is awesome. Because obviously with us living with herpes, we want to make sure that our immune system is as strong as possible, right? The stronger our immune system, less likely we are to get herpes outbreaks. This has vitamin C, D, E, B6, B12, zinc, selenium, lysine, Asian ginseng, astragalus, echinacea, elderberry. I love elderberry for immune support. Garlic root, green tea, olive leaf, and oregano leaf. So this is awesome. I have it pinned, all right? And like I said, it just sold out. It sold out, it just came back. So this is what we like to take to support our overall immune system. All right. You told your partner he has HSV. That's awesome. That's great. Sugar plum fairy. I like that, sugar plum fairy. Good for you. When you disclose you have herpes to your partner, it really is a sign of self-respect, and it's a sign that you respect that relationship. And I did a blog post on this last week, so if you guys go to Life With Herpes, you can see the blog post. So if you go to Life With Herpes, you can see the blog post, but it really is a sign of self-respect. It's a sign of I am trying to set up a healthy foundation for my partner. And as much as it can be super nerve-wracking to have those disclosures, it's one of those things that, hey, you don't want to start a relationship on a house of cards. I've talked to hundreds of people. I mean, I've talked to thousands and thousands of people one-on-one, but I've talked to so many people that said, hey, it just started off as something casual. I didn't like disclose because I wasn't having an outbreak. I was just newly diagnosed. I was scared. I didn't know what to do, so I didn't do it. And not unfortunately, but it turned into a longer term relationship. Someone in particular actually married him, and she's like, I can't tell him I have herpes at this point. We're now married, right? So huge kudos to you for disclosing. All right. We're doing Herpes Anonymous, guys. You guys have been following along. The purpose of Herpes Anonymous. So I've been going live for as long as you can go live. And I've noticed that the questions on the lives are very light. They're very like, what's HSV1? What's HSV2? And obviously I'm happy to answer those questions, but I have thousands and thousands of videos that answer those questions for you. I have hundreds of blog posts that answer those questions for you. I have a FAQ that answers those questions for you. What my goal here is to help get you through your herpes diagnosis, right? I don't want you getting stuck in, how do I disclose? Like what Sugar Plum Fairy is like, I was so nervous, I disclosed, I was scared, I told him I have HSV. These were my emotions. How do I where, and really, really, really go deep with those questions, or go deep with those questions that you'd be like, I don't think I want anyone to know that I have this. And the reason why I'm doing Herpes Anonymous here live on these platforms is to make it affordable. And so that other people that are in your same situation, even though you think that like no one else is in your same situation, they are. And to make it affordable to everybody, it's $5, okay? So you know where to go to do it, to submit your question. $5. I have my laptop here. I'm gonna read through the questions. You'll receive an email with your exact response, and I just want to be able to go deep. I have my master's in Christian leadership. I have a master's in crisis leadership. I am able to support you, right? I am a minister. I have been doing this since 2017. So I am definitely qualified and definitely able to support you with this. All right. In the meantime, I should have had my questions pulled up. Of course, I didn't do that. So bear with me. While I do that, how's everybody doing? Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, I know how nervous it is to disclose. I'm really glad that you did. Let's see. All right. So yesterday, I think I was answering Liam's question, and you guys were telling me that You guys were telling me that I was glitching. So I don't think I really got the opportunity to completely answer Liam's question. And someone just said, M just said, how do you disclose? What do you say? So we're doing Herpes Anonymous right now, which are people have submitted their questions offline. I may answer that in these questions here. I don't know. I don't know how far we're going to get with the questions and where we're going to go. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to get into this. Let's get back to Liam yesterday. So Liam said, and I'm just going to go back because I don't know what you guys heard, and I want to make sure Liam gets a fair chance because obviously he paid money for this. So Liam has a question on dating with the stigma. So he said, I've been dating this wonderful girl for a few months, and last night she revealed that she has genital herpes. I really like her and see a future together, but I'm not sure how to deal, this is right, with potential stigma or how to talk to my friends and family if this becomes serious. How can I support her while also handling the social aspect of any misconceptions that my close ones might have? Okay, this is super important. I said this yesterday and I'm going to say it again. And for all of you that are re-listening today, definitely listen to this again. If you're brand new and you weren't here yesterday, okay, listen up. You do not need to disclose to anybody. Okay, I'm saying it again. You do not need to disclose to anybody that you have herpes unless, here's the key point, you are going to expose that person. Okay? So Liam's here, he's really concerned with the stigma. Duh, obviously. Like, the stigma is the big point. It's the elephant in the room. He's nervous about it. I get it. I hear you. Your mom and dad don't need to know that your girlfriend has herpes. Your best friend doesn't need to know you have herpes. Your aunt and uncle at Thanksgiving don't need to know you have herpes, right? So give me a thumbs up if you guys agree, because this is something that we think, like, I know I immediately, when I was diagnosed back in 2011, I was living with my parents at the time, not proud to say that, but I was living with my parents. I was too old to be living with my parents, but I was living with my parents, and I told them, because I was like, oh my gosh, what about the laundry? What about, like, BS, all right? No one needs to know that you have herpes unless you're going to disclose. So back to Liam being super concerned about the stigma. No one's going to know. Only you and your girlfriend are going to know. But anyways, she told you she had genital herpes. You really like seeing her. You're not sure how to deal with potential stigma or how to talk to your friends and family. You don't need to talk to them. How can I support her while handling the social aspects of any misconceptions? So again, I don't think that your close ones might have. I don't think that's going to be an issue because you don't need to tell the close people in your life that she has herpes. For you, I would say, Liam, keep doing what you're doing by watching Life with Herpes, by being part of this. Learn what you can about herpes. The more you know about herpes, the more you know what herpes is not, the more you know what herpes is, the more you know what it does and does not do, the more you know how common herpes is, you'll be able to support her. I can remember when I was dating my ex-boyfriend and we were at a movie and herpes got brought up in the movie, and he immediately just grabbed my hand and held it. And it was great. It was nice. It was sweet, like, oh, he's got me. Another time, same guy, we were in a car and with his friends that they were newly dating, and the girl mentioned, like, oh, I have a canker sore in my mouth. And the guy's like, it's not herpes, is it? And she's like, ew, no, gross. And the guy at the time immediately grabbed my hand. So those are some ways you can support your partner that has herpes if you don't have herpes. So, these are all, just be there for the person that you love and are with. Here's what I want to say about herpes. We're making this big deal, this big monster, this big, how do I deal with the social stigma? And Liam, I'm not downplaying your concerns because it's something new in your life. It's something you haven't dealt with. But in life, this is going to be the smallest, biggest conversation that you have with your girlfriend, with your spouse, with your partner. My husband and I had this conversation years ago, it's nothing compared to the conversations we have to have today. We have a little boy. We're married. We own homes. I have stepchildren. There's bigger conversations that we have to have that are more impactful than, oh, Alexandra has herpes. Like, that's old news. It's not a big deal anymore. And I'm not downplaying your initial concern for any of you, because that initial concern of how do I disclose, that is a big effing deal to you at that point. So Liam, I really hope I've answered your question. Guys, listening to Liam's question, do you guys have anything else you want to add to it? I saw that some of my comments were filtered to protect the community's experience. Make sure you use rated G language. Definitely not PG, G, which is so ridiculous. Also, if you know someone that has herpes, please share this information with them. Like I said, I was diagnosed in 2011. Nobody was talking about it. It was terrifying. I was isolated. And the reason why I'm publicly speaking about this and I'm exposing my life with herpes, so that no one else has to feel that way. No, my husband does not have herpes. He does not have herpes. Oh, the vitamins that are up, so they are the, I just put them away. I was talking about the premium immune support. So normally I talk a lot about Lysine, I talk a lot about Monolaurin, I talk a lot about Andrographis, but the premium immune support here, sorry, I just had a lot of things go through my mind. We have vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin B6, vitamin B12. We have lysine in here. Yes, you can take it with other supplements. Just make sure if you're taking, like, there's vitamin B in here, and I can't read how much there is because there's a sticker blocking it, but make sure you're not taking too much. So if you have another supplement that has vitamin B, then like just make sure it's not taking too much. You know what I mean? But yeah, you can take these with the antiviral. You can take these with other supplements. Again, I'm not a doctor. I can't recommend. This is what I do in my life. So this is something that's also really helpful. You know, another thing, when I feel that I'm getting sick, obviously I have the immune support, but I also take the biofilms. I'm going to link it for you. This one, I've noticed I've had tremendous success. That sounds weird. When I feel that tickle in my throat or I feel a little run down and I take the biofilms as well, it's zapped my illness. It zapped it. It's taken care of it. Because the biofilm also has some really powerful tools here. We have turmeric. Duh, obviously that's great for inflammation. That's great for illness. We have pomegranate. That's my theme. That's my brand. Golden seal, sweet wormwood, clove, ginkgo. So great things for the immune, the digestive health. This is another great one that that I like to take when I'm sick or traveling. All right. Okay, let's get back. Guys, for those of you that just joined, we're doing Herpes Anonymous live. People have submitted their questions to me. They are $5. And I want to get through the next question because Liam's question, for some reason, I wasn't able to answer it yesterday. The platforms were down. The Wi-Fi was weird. I don't know what was going on. I think we're still in Mercury retrograde. Who knows? But here we are again today, watching or listening. By the way, do I look super, I feel like I don't know how to change it. I feel like my, like pigmentation is super washed out. I don't know. Anyways, it like really shows my blemishes. I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, cool. Naomi, question on emotional support and understanding. So a lot of emotional. My new boyfriend, that's exciting, told me he has herpes, and although I want to be understanding, I'm completely overwhelmed with what this means for us. I need some guidance on how to be emotionally supportive without neglecting my own feelings. It's very fair, Naomi. And concerns about physical intimacy. How should I address this balance? What are the right questions to ask to ensure we both feel comfortable? Is anybody here that's on a live in a similar situation? Like, has somebody just told you you have herpes and you're like, I really like this person, but I'm really concerned to be intimate? because I've not been in that situation personally. I wasn't given the choice. My ex didn't know he had herpes, and so I wasn't given the choice. And my husband doesn't have herpes, so he has that choice, right? He makes that choice to be like, I really don't care at this point. Yeah, okay, KG is in that similar situation. Okay, here's the thing I want you guys to look at. It's not about, so number one, you want to be emotionally supportive for your partner and yourself. Cool. And concerns about obviously being intimate. Cool. Notice how this person, well, I kind of reworded it. This is PG. No, excuse me, this is rated G. Okay, questions need to be rated G because, especially in your comments, otherwise you guys get in trouble and I get in trouble and we all get in trouble and we don't want to be in trouble. Okay, you want to be supportive and also not neglect your own feelings. I'm going to use the analogy of when you're on an airplane and they say, mothers, take care of your oxygen mask before your child's oxygen mask, right? You're not going to be able to help your child if you can't breathe. So a lot of times, especially as women, we go to help others and be like, oh my gosh, I need to pour everything into you. I think that it's really important for you that you are saying, like, I have my own personal concerns. How do I deal with that? While also supporting my boyfriend, your new boyfriend. What are you needing? Do you know what you need? Is that like, do you know what you need? Do you need support? Is that what you need, that maybe not through your boyfriend? You're at the right spot. People join our secret society community, which is the private herpes community, herpes support group for people living with herpes. But we have people join that don't have herpes, that are in relationships with people that have herpes. So you totally can join that as well. It's the secret society. It is an amazing support group. It has people from all over the world. We meet twice a week, meaning we have calls twice a week that are live. So you get 8 calls a month with me and the other members. It is so transformative. Anyway, so if you need that support and you need to hear what people are really going through, that might be a really great way for you to hear what other people are going through and for you to also make your own decisions. I'm going to throw something really bold out there, which is going to upset a lot of people. I'm going to do it anyways. And this is something that I've grown even more firmly in my foundation. It's not something that I personally did, but looking back, if this was something that I was in a new relationship, it's something I would personally do. Put sex aside for right now. We feel that we have to jump into being intimate with our partners like 48 hours into meeting them. You don't, okay? Yes, it's an awesome thing. Yes, it feels good. Yes, it's beautiful. Yes, it feels good to be caressed. Yes, it feels good to be loved. Yes, all those things feel good. But I want you to realize, are you doing it for the right reasons? And are you both ready for it? And I used to really hate hearing, like, well, you're not ready for it. You don't know. You're not ready. When I was younger, like, I'd hear that all the time as a teenager. You're not ready for it. Da, da, da. There's so much emotionally that happens when you're intimate with somebody. We all know, we're all adults, we've all done it, that we forget that, wow, I forgot the infancy of a relationship. So for you, Naomi, I'm going to throw out, like, just take intimacy off the table and enjoy getting to know your new boyfriend. Enjoy feeling your feelings. I don't know if you really want to enjoy that, but feel your feelings. Be there for him. And when you guys truly are like, yeah, we're ready, we're here, it's time, then begin that. When you're like, hey, I feel totally confident in being intimate with this person. And yeah, I don't plan on getting herpes, but I am prepared if I do, and I understand the consequences, and I understand how to prevent transmission, and I feel confident in my relationship. I'm not going to be resentful. I'm not going to be angry. I'm not going to be at those points. So a lot of times we just jump into it thinking that's what we're supposed to do. And again, yeah, does it feel good? Of course. It's supposed to. But maybe we take all those emotions out and wait to be intimate. Can I hear in the comments what you guys think of that? I'd love to hear, because it's one that pisses a lot of people off. Let me know what you think in the comments, please, because looking at it now, like, we jump into intimacy so fast and it changes the relationship completely. And if Naomi right here is in this really wishy-washy state, one of the best things that she can do is just not be intimate. I'm not saying forever. I'm just saying not right now. What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments. Are you guys there? Nobody's gonna comment? All right. Do you guys like these lives? No comment. Okay. Missed the question, Jaden. How long should you wait to get tested when you're exposed? Just arrived. Okay, cool. The question was, guys, I just was talking about, someone asked a question about how to be, when should you be intimate, and some guidance about handling, one person has herpes, the other. And I said, hold off on intimacy. Hold off on it. Don't do it right now. And that kind of pisses a lot of people off. So I wanted to hear your thought. Just jumped in. Sorry. Okay. Thanks, Natasha. Just arrived. Thanks. Fresh Evolution. That's a fun name. You heard the whole thing and agree. Makes sense. Thanks, Ash. I appreciate that. Yeah. I just think why rush into it? How long should you wait to get tested when you're exposed to HSV? I would do a couple of things. I would get tested immediately, and then I'd go back in about 3 months. I would see if you already had it, and then I'd go back in a couple of months. It's going to take up to 3 months to make the antibodies. All right, let's get to the next question. Carlos, question on initial reaction. Okay. Just found out the guy, okay, Carlos, I just found out the guy I've been dating for a couple of weeks has herpes. Gosh, everybody's just finding out their partners have herpes. I like it. It's a theme. I initially reacted poorly because of my lack of knowledge. I feel terrible and I want to apologize and learn more so I can handle this maturely. Where do I start the long-term education myself? Rebuilding the trust might have been damaged. What do you think? Okay. So, number one, for yourself, Carlos, you reacted in the way that you best knew how to react. So acknowledge that, look at that, and go, okay, I wasn't proud of that moment. What can I do in the future to change this? Why did I react in that manner? Is it the way that I was raised to react? Is it how I saw my parents react? Is it a characteristic I want to change? And if that's the case, then look into how can I change that? So that's number one. Number two, educate yourself. What you're doing here on Life with Herpes, submitting your question, you've probably gone through my website. I have thousands of videos, hundreds of blog posts. I go live all the time. My platforms, again, thousands and thousands and thousands of videos that you can learn and educate yourself about herpes. I do my best so that it's not some chilly site that has statistics, right? You're asking a question I acted poorly. How do I educate myself? How do I rebuild this trust? So number one, look at your behavior. How do you change? Another thing about behavior, guys, this is all of us, especially when we disclose. So Carlos, you were disclosed too. When we disclose, people were asking earlier, how do I disclose? Remember when we disclose, we're the ones sharing the information, but the person receiving the information, it's that person's opportunity to digest it. So it's like tennis or ping pong or whatever. You've pushed the ball to the other side. It's up to that person to respond in a manner that feels right. So in Carlos, in your situation, you're saying, I wasn't proud of my behavior. Cool. How do you change that, right? The person you disclosed to, your person that's disclosed to you, you have to remember, he's like, okay, this is how Carlos responded. So here's what I want you to do, Carlos. Do your research on herpes, educate yourself, find out what you need to know. I want you to evaluate this relationship. Is this somebody you want to be in a relationship with, or is this someone that you're not necessarily that excited about? Because if it's somebody that you're hell yes, I really like this person, I really like this guy, then you absolutely should put the effort into it. If you're like, I don't know, then okay, I still think you should apologize, but just decide how you want to move forward, because the apology is going to change. You're not proud of your behavior. One of the best things you can do is to confront that. So go back and talk to him. You're feeling like you may have damaged that relationship. The best thing that you can do is go back to him and say like, hey, I want to follow up. I want to talk. You can say things like, I'm not proud of my behavior. This really took me off guard. I didn't realize sort of how the stigma really impacted me. I'm not sure how, I just wasn't ready for this. And I'm really not proud of how I reacted. I want to apologize for that. And I want to be able to support you. If you don't want to move forward with him, you're like, hey, I found this great resource. It's Life with Herpes. Or there's lots of people on social media that are talking about it. I would love to introduce them to you to support you. That's if you don't want to be in a relationship with him. If you do, you could be like, look, I really hope that you can forgive me. I really hope that you can forgive how I reacted. This is not in my character. I'm going to work to change, thanks for bringing this to my forefront. I really had a lot of stigma issues. I didn't realize that. And reason why, I didn't know that much about herpes. It scared me. This was how I reacted being scared. I'd love to hold your hand and support and learn and be able to be here for you. Let's just see where this goes and see where our relationship goes. So I think those are some really positive things. The best thing that we can do, and I talk about this all the time when we are diagnosed with herpes, this is crucial, guys. This is one of the best nuggets you can take. When we get herpes, we're pissed off at the person we got herpes from. We're like, that person, right? You chose to be intimate. Now, if this was SA, very, very different, okay? Very different. If you were walking down the street and stranger danger picked you up in his van and drove off with you, very different. But if you consciously made the decision to be intimate with that person, it was your choice. So I want you to take responsibility for your actions, okay? No more blaming, oh, well, this guy or this girl, they didn't tell me. Of course they're not going to tell you if it's a one-night stand. Why would they? They don't know you, and you're not asking that person if you have herpes. You're like, oh, you're clean, right? They don't respect you. Why do I keep getting violations? This is ridiculous. Okay. They don't respect you necessarily. You're just going to be a lay, right? So again, I want you to take responsibility for your actions. Now, in some of our situations, maybe it was a committed relationship. Maybe it was like, hey, do you have anything? And the person did lie to you. But you still chose to be intimate, and I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to put my head on the line. You probably didn't ask to see their test results. You just took their word of advice, okay? So back to Carlos, you need to take responsibility for your actions, whether you are proud or not proud of how you reacted to the disclosure. And that's the best opportunity for you to go back, put your tail between your legs, and just be honest and vulnerable and share and be like, I was really scared. Okay, I have no patience when people take the victim mindset of, oh no, I have herpes, it's so bad. Yeah, it sucks getting diagnosed with herpes, I get it. But you also made that choice. I made the choice to be intimate with somebody that I was dating without asking to see his test results. That was my choice. I made it. I made it at that point in 2011, Memorial Day, because I thought it was the best decision at that time. I wanted to do it, right? So take responsibility for our actions as well as practice forgiveness. Forgive the person that didn't tell you. Forgive the person that didn't know. Forgive yourself. Don't go back and be like, oh, no, forgive yourself. You made a decision at that point in time that you thought was the best decision for you at that point in time. Otherwise, you wouldn't have made the decision, right? We don't go into decisions thinking they're going to be bad. You're not like, oh, let me go make a bad decision right now. Like you may joke with your friends like, oh, we're going to go make a bad decision. No, but you don't make a decision thinking it's going to be a bad one. You make it because you think it's going to make you happy. It's going to change something. You think it's the right thing at the right time. So don't beat yourself up on the past. That's like, you can't change it. It already happened. What you can do is go forward and go, wow, this is how I can change going forward. Someone saying you have a laser appointment. No, you could totally get laser. I get laser. I've gotten laser. You can totally get laser. You don't need, if you have an outbreak, I'd probably reschedule, but unless they're not going to like be in the outbreak area, depending where you have it, but you can totally get laser. All right, friends. I think we got through some good questions today. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. I really appreciate you. I'm really passionate about getting through your diagnosis, and I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. I want to support you in your change. I want to support the roots that you have built that are no longer needed. I want to get rid of those beliefs that you have of yourself saying, I'm ugly, I'm used goods, I can't date, I'm a bad person, I don't deserve love. All these things that we tell ourselves because now we have herpes, you were already telling yourself that. I told myself that, and I blamed it on herpes, and it wasn't herpes. I already believed those things. I picked it up somewhere along the way. I want to support you all going through this change. Cool. So as you could tell, I'm getting pretty animated in my responses, and that's why I'm doing Herpes Anonymous, because I want to get deep, like with what Carlos was saying, what Naomi wanted to know, what Leon wanted to know. How do I get through this? Someone just told me that I really care about has herpes and I don't know how to react. I don't know what to do. Right? Let's do it together. All right, guys. Thank you. If you have your Herpes Anonymous questions that you want to add or you want to ask, you know where to go. Go there. It's $5. Whenever I say $5, I think of Subway, like $5 foot long. Even though I don't think they actually are a foot, and I haven't been to Subway in literally 30 years. Anyways, $5 Herpes Anonymous question so I can support you. I might yell at you, but it's okay. It's out of love. Supplements are up. They are awesome. They're supplements I take. I don't know. All right, I'm going to go. I hope you guys have an awesome day. I have a call in 4 minutes I got to prepare for. Have a beautiful day, my friends, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.